Arlington High School Tiger Band, you may now take the field in exhibition.
A lot of preparation goes into the rehearsals, preparing the show and rehearsing it during the week, trying to get it better every week. We learn portions of the show as we go along, so we're constantly building the show, and then once the show is all in the field, we're tweaking things, trying to change things up to make it better. We pay somebody to write the drill for us. It's a guy that lives down in Hawaii. We send him, here are the things that we want to do, here's some of the things we see, and then he takes those and runs with those and designs the marching portion of it. It's all computerized, and so we get a list. Every student has a list of where they're supposed to be at each particular moment in the show. And so about every 16 counts of music, there's a specific dot where everybody is supposed to be. But then at the contest, we're in different classes based off of size, and we're always in the biggest class, and so you're up against some really good groups.
We practice at least 3 times a week. We practice Mondays right after school, Tuesdays we practice in the evening, and on Thursdays it's right after school. And if we have a competition on Saturdays, we will normally practice before then too, so it's a lot of work. Practicing specifically for drum major, we have rehearsals in May before the season, and we'll start learning the basics around then, and by the time auditions come around towards the end of May, we'll have sort of an idea of how to do it. And it's really practicing throughout the whole summer and getting to know what you're doing and how to do it, that you start to figure out, hey, this is what I need to do, this is how I need to do it. And it kind of comes naturally from then. So we probably have around close to 250 members in the band here at Arlington. For marching band, we combine all of those groups together to have this massive band, as I'm sure everyone's seen at football games. But when we put on concerts, we have 3 different groups, which are classed by auditions. So you have the lower end group, which is concert band, you have the mid-tier group, which is symphonic band, and then you have the high end group, which is wind ensemble.
So the sound comes from everybody contributing to their instruments, and we work in class every single day on the show music, and everybody has to memorize about 2 pages worth of music, and where to stop, where to play, and whatnot, and it all comes together into one ensemble piece. Each individual marcher has a place, and they have their own contribute to the band in general. Every single instrument has a part in the musicality. Every single person has a contribute to the scores. It's a whole, if one person's off, the whole thing's off. So everybody always is staying focused and whatnot for the show.
So Bandmasters is our big competition at the Liberty Bowl. It's where everyone in the Memphis area comes together and competes. So we had Bartlett, we had Collierville, we had, and a bunch, Germantown High School, and a bunch of other schools were there. And it's pretty much like any other competition, except the stadium is about 10 times bigger, and there's about 15,000 people there.
We started with the music first, and so from the music, everything kind of came out from that point. And so we came up with the visual idea of how do we represent coming from darkness into light. And so the idea was to do that through flowers, more specifically through roses, and to start with dark roses turning to red roses. And so that idea transferred into the props, which brought the shirts, the custom uniform shirts, then the color guard uniforms, the color guard flags. All of that came from the idea of going from dark roses to light or bright roses. Yeah, we try to find music that's going to fit our ensemble the best. And so what music shows off what we do really well. And so this year we found that show. We actually found it before the pandemic happened. So it should have happened last year. And so it kind of is somewhat fitting, I guess, that we did something called From Darkness coming out of the pandemic and the quarantine that we'd had. But we just felt like it was a show that featured the things that we do well and could show off some of our best attributes.
Yeah, that's a good point. There you go.
Bring him. Let's go.
So for us, what it looks like is we will usually come to the school usually around noon. We'll have about 2 hours of rehearsal time, especially if the contest is local and we don't have to travel for 3 hours, let's say. So we'll rehearse, we will eat here, and then we'll all load onto buses and head to the school. From there, we'll get on our uniforms, warm up, and we have an exact specific time we have to be out on that field. And if we're not on the field at that specific time, that's it. So we're on the field, let's say 8:15. We do our performance, we get off the field, and then awards will come around, and usually it's drum majors and seniors are on the field to receive any awards that the band gets. And then if we win, we get a bunch of trophies, and that's the goal.
as hope overcomes the darkest gloom, behold, all the roses begin to bloom.
The Arlington High School Band from Arlington, Tennessee, under the direction of King Saint Hold the world's history in 2020, the Tigers have 14 students in Ball State and 55 students.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Collierville High School Band. In fifth place with a score of 84.2250. The Arlington High School Band, Arlington, Tennessee, Tim Simpson, Sam Shermer, directors.
Bandmasters was a whirlwind, I guess you could say. We practiced pretty good throughout the morning. It was pretty good, and we got to Liberty Bowl. Everybody was confident, nobody was nervous because we knew that we had it, and we performed. Everybody thought that it was the best run of our lives and whatnot. And awards came, and they announced us as fifth place. Very disappointing, but you know, what can you do about it? So yeah, you know, we all went back to the buses and kind of contemplated on our lives there for a second, but yeah, it was still a night to remember.
There were really good bands there, and I think that's the first thing is we weren't quite as high as we had hoped to be. But it's great competition, and there's great playing, and there's great marching, and there's no really debating what great music and great playing is and what great marching is. But that said, there's all different styles. And so how do you compare one band that plays this show to another band that plays this show? And they play different styles, they march different styles. How do you compare those two things? It's not like basketball or football where there's a given set of rules and we know at the end of the game who's won. With this, some of it is subjective, and so it comes down to which style of playing did we think was better, which style of marching did we think was better. And now there's some clear things that some people do it better than others. But at the end of the day, some of it is opinion.
We have a bunch of really good players and a bunch of really good people, and everyone comes together to put on this amazing show, and I think that's what makes us special. Coming out of last year when we really didn't get to do much, having an actual show this year and actually being able to be around everyone and being able to interact with everyone is just such a good experience, and I'm so glad to have been a part of it.
So when you join, you're in your section, and that's the people you usually get closest to because you're around them 24/7. And then when you get leadership opportunities and drum major opportunities, you get to explore the entire band, and I've probably gained about 100 friends and whatnot this year just from being able to be around everybody.
I thought we had a great run that night, and I was really pleased with it, and that's the part that's satisfying is we feel like we had a good run that night. We thought there were some issues. I think we kind of overplayed some places and stuff like that, and there's some visual things that didn't work out quite like we wanted them to, but all in all, I was really pleased with the performance, and that's the biggest takeaway. It's the journey. I think we've made better people. I think we've all gotten better, the directors included, of working hard, working as a group with people that are different than you, people have different beliefs than you, but we all shared a common goal of working towards something together, and that the pursuit of that and what we did together, I think that's the ultimate prize in all of this. The kids feel like a family. They're close to each other. They care about each other. And so I think that family atmosphere is what makes it so special.